These are 5 quick daily habits that cut my body fat in half from 30% all the way down to 15. And the best part is that these aren't just gonna help you lose the weight, but they're gonna help you keep it off, which we all know is arguably way more important. So if you're tired, okay, of falling into the endless cycle of just losing weight and then regaining it, or wasting time following advice that just doesn't work and that is outdated, and if you follow these daily habits, my friend, you are gonna be one step closer to liking what you actually see in the mirror, and you'll be the most in shape guy in your friend group. Guaranteed. And who doesn't want that? I mean, come on. Now let me make this very clear before we start. These aren't going to be quick hacks or like stupid gimmicks. These are the habits that are going to lead to changes that actually stick. Now I am going to start off very controversial and I'm going to lose all of the softies here, okay? But it's just a fact. You are going to want to be weighing yourself every day. Not because, I told you you weren't going to like it, not only because we want data for our weight loss journey, but because of the mentality and the habits that weighing yourself comes with, i.e., discipline, accountability. These are things that you need if you want to lose weight long term. So although this is one good habit by itself, can you see how establishing this habit actually has positive effects and pours into the other categories of what makes a successful weight loss journey? And how could we forget it instills impeccable discipline? Now this next habit is something that you likely haven't heard before, but I think it really needs to be talked about, and that is controlling your emotional impulses around food. A lot of advice online is going to tell you to be in the calorie deficit. It's going to tell you to go to the gym. Like even my content does that. But let's establish and break down the psychological barriers that you have that are preventing you from losing the weight that you want to lose. Because let's be honest, when it comes to your cravings, eat fruit and eat veg. Like, thanks. Like, I'm a little bit more, please. That would really help me out. So the solution here and like the psychological tactic or the psychological weapon that I want you to employ on yourself is disarming yourself with logic. Whenever you're faced with a decision where you are going to go off plan, or you are seconds away from making a decision that is going to ruin the trajectory of your weight loss or put you over your calories for that day, or you're just going to make a bad choice for the sake of it, there is a mantra that I've been repeating for the last couple months that has saved me. And every single time I've forgotten to do this mantra or I've just kind of ignored it, I've always ended up making a worse decision than if I were to just repeat the mantra. It's very simple and it's very powerful. Hyping it up a lot. How about I just share it with you right now? The mantra is, this a good choice? That's it. You either say this out loud or you say it in your head, but you don't just say it. What's important is the way that you say it. You always want to have a little bit of like sass. You want to have a little bit of that like kind of like passive aggressive, like kind of bitchy energy to it. So whenever you're reaching for something, in your head go, is that a good choice? Like, is that a good choice? I kid you, try it anytime after this video, not just with weight loss or fat loss, but any situation in life. Do it and you will see the power that this has. It's like you have a little child or a little monkey on your shoulder or on the back of your head that's looking at you in the third person and is assessing you and reviewing you. Ask yourself, is this a good choice? I'm not saying that this will correct all of your behaviors, but whatever you're doing now, okay, let's say if you're like 50% like on and off, you do some good stuff and you do some bad stuff, implement this. I guarantee you that your success rate increases by like 80 to 90%. Try it out. Now with this one, we are gonna move a little bit further away from the psychological aspects, although that's a really interesting part of weight loss. I actually want to talk about a concept, another one that isn't really talked about. Now it's called getting or prioritizing your mini steps. Now we've all heard, get your 10K steps a day. Again, old news. Also speaking to myself on that one because I've said that how many times? So many times. But mini steps are actually the steps, okay, that you take throughout the day that you don't even acknowledge. What do I mean by this? Think about it this way. It's the steps that you take doing the very, very mundane activities that you don't even think of. Here's an example. If, okay, in your house you have 2 bathrooms, like I got one downstairs, I got one upstairs. Just actively making the decision to every time you need the toilet, go to the upstairs bathroom. If you're like scrolling, okay, like on your phone, then, okay, don't just sit down and scroll on your phone. Walk around and do it. Things like parking further away from the grocery store. I'm not promising you significant, like if you just do this, okay, and you're not in a calorie deficit and you're not doing everything that we've talked about, yes, this is not going to be an effective strategy. But if you do this in addition, you add this little cherry on top to whatever it is that you're doing, you're going to find that step count increases a lot. I used to average 10 to 11,000 steps a day. I started doing this and now I can hit around 12. It's 1K more, but it's better than what it was before. That rhymed. Death Row Records, I'm waiting for a knock at my door. But that is a very small change that you can make just to help you burn a few extra calories in the background and really increase that step count. And again, continuing to go on with advice that isn't very common or advice that you're not gonna hear, because I think personally that this is going to be the kind of advice that really sets you ahead from, you know, the 90% of people who are trying to lose weight and failing and not succeeding. And that is going to be to make everything easy. I want you to ask yourself an honest question. Why in the past have I failed at my weight loss journey? Why do I have so many failed attempts? I can tell you the answer right now because I was there with you. I was so overwhelmed with all of these fitness experts and these keto gurus and these doctors and all of these people trying to brainwash you and tell you that their method is the best and, oh, to do this and to do that. I was so overwhelmed and I was so confused. There was too much noise coming at me and I couldn't act on the information because I was so overwhelmed. If they weren't using complex jargon, okay, to try and sound smarter than they actually were, or they weren't trying to like sell me some like $150 like PDF, I just couldn't wrap my head around it. So what is the fix here? You got to make things easy for yourself. I know you've been taught and you've been brainwashed by so many people that it needs to be hard and it needs to be tough. Correct. But it doesn't need to be unnecessarily tough. There are no extra brownie points for unnecessary suffering. Replay that again until it goes into your memory. So every process in your life, whether it be weight loss or whatever, make the task so simple and so easy that not completing it seems stupid. Make it so simple and easy for you to do that even a 5-year-old or your dog or your cat, actually not cats, I don't like cats, could do it. There's a quote by James Clear. He's the author of a book called Atomic Habits. Highly recommend that you read it. And he says that you don't rise to the level of your goals, but you fall to the level of your systems. Let's put this into a real life example, like plain English, okay? Don't say that you're gonna go to the gym 6 to 7 days a week, all right? That's way too ambitious. You don't trust yourself. You don't have enough accountability to do that. Not going to the gym 6 to 7 days a week, yeah, that's justifiable as to why you wouldn't go because it's too much. But if you say instead, I'm gonna go to the gym 1 to 2 times a week, try and come up with an excuse for why you couldn't go to the gym at least 1 day a week. You will honestly be the village idiot, or you'll be perceived as the village buffoon if you even try and fathom an excuse for why you didn't go to the gym 1 time a week. Make it easy, make it simple, and you'll do it 9.5 times out of 10. Now let's touch on something relating to diet. And this habit is something that I need you to instill if you are serious about getting results and you're serious about stripping fat, but also staying full on your diet, because hunger is a common problem that we face on a weight loss journey. So what I want you to do, okay, from this video moving forward, eat protein with every single meal that you eat. Now, 2 ways that you can do this. You can either do what I do, and that's front load my protein earlier in the day. By around 8 o'clock in the morning, 8:30 in the morning, I'm already at 100 grams of protein. That means that I only need to get 60 to 70 throughout the rest of the day, which is very easy. Or you can go for method 2, which is what I know some other people do, is that they equally spread it, okay, throughout the day. I much prefer method 1 because if I get my protein earlier, I don't need to worry about it later in the day, and I'm not stressing and like running around like a headless chicken trying to find ways to fit in my protein at like 6 o'clock at night. But do what works for you. This is going to keep you fuller. It's going to help you burn some more calories, okay? Because we have the thermic effect of food. It's not going to burn a tremendous amount of calories, but we need to take the calorie burn where we can. But just make sure that you're getting adequate enough of protein. And a little bonus tip: how much protein should you be eating? 1 gram per pound of your body weight. If you hit a little bit under, that's completely fine, but just never go under that. What does that look like? Well, let's say for 200 pounds, that's 200 grams of protein. And if those are your like kind of measurements, I wouldn't go anywhere under 180 grams of protein. So I'd give you that because, you know, helps you visualize it better. Now, here's a hard truth that you need to accept, because if you haven't lost weight, then it's likely because you do not trust yourself. And if you don't trust yourself to make the right choices, and you do not have anybody course correcting you on your journey, and you're ready to sort out this weight issue that you have for good, and you are a person that would find value in me walking side by side along your journey, course correcting you, helping you avoid all the mistakes that I made so you can get to your transformation a lot quicker than I did, then you can click the link in the pinned comment to join the Forever Lean team. But if not, I'll catch you in this video.